And hello everyone, welcome to this week's video tutorial. I've decided to do something different and introduce one of the ancient manuals instead of the usual opening series. Now the ancient manual that I will be introducing today is called Dreams of Divine Positions. This was the translation that I gave from its original Chinese name, Ming Dynasty. I believe there are some other variations of the book. In the past I've seen it, but I can't remember where I saw it already. Anyway, this is one of the oldest Xiangqi manuals that is still extant, or is still partially extant to be exact. There are still 144 puzzles inside the books, inside the book. And the date of the publication of the book is not known, but it was already believed that in the Ming Dynasty, only portions of it have survived. So it could be anywhere between the 13th or 14th or 15th century AD. So this is also one of the oldest Xiangqi books that is still partially extant. The puzzles in the book are relatively simple, and I believe they are ideal for the beginner and perfect for people wanting to pick up Xiangqi. In this short video tutorial, I will go through some of the endgame compositions in the first few boards. So in this board, which is the first puzzle, there was a Chinese name called You Zhong Ying Wai, and I've translated it as coordinating an attack from the center to the periphery. Now, as can be seen, black is only one move away from a checkmate with r3 equals to 4 or r8 plus 8. So red, it would be red's turn to move, and red would have to find a simple way to deliver a checkmate before black can do so. Now it would seem to be an easy puzzle, but there are still some tricks and some traps that are related to it. So as can be seen, the cannon is on the on the throat rank of black's side of the board, and it can help the red pawn to attack the black king. The red horse is getting in the way of the red chariot, and there's always a possibility of black using the chariot to defend if red tried to initiate any discovered attacks or discovered checks, because once the black chariot could retreat to his own bottom rank, the black cannon will be delivering a check on the red king. So there are still some things to note about this board game. So as this video is intended for beginners, I will try to explain everything in as simple manner as possible. So how should red attack? The first step will be crucial. Red must attack with p6 equals to 5 to move the pawn to the centroid position of the board. Now by doing so, the black king cannot capture the red pawn because it is protected by the red horse and also the red cannon, and this would place black in a dilemma. Now, if black were to capture the red pawn, red could deliver a checkmate, a double check leading to a checkmate with h7 equals to 6. Because in the initial position, the pawn would be getting in the way of the red horse to prevent it from delivering a pale corner horse check. So the first move would be key. p6 equals to 5 would be the correct move to make. It would be a mistake for red to try to play p6 equals to 1, because the king could simply capture the pawn, and although red would try to deliver a check, a discovered check, black would simply defend in this manner, and it would be a cross check in the process. So the black cannon would now be delivering a check on the red king, while black would have resolved this check. So red must resolve this check and be forced to play a6+5. And once black does that, once red does that, black would be able to deliver a checkmate with checkmate. So black would win instead. Now, at this point in time, if red chose to retreat his chariot, black would still deliver a checkmate with r8+8. Hence, starting the puzzle with p6+1 would be a mistake. The correct way, as mentioned earlier, would be p6 goes to 5. Now, at this point in time, there are 4 ways for black to defend or to react to this check. Okay, in the main line, k5 equals to 6 was given, but we shall examine the other possibilities. So, as mentioned earlier, if I equals to 5 were played, black would simply checkmate with a double check. The horse would be delivering a check to the king, and so would the red chariot. Now this would be an example of a discovered check. So the black chariot cannot retreat to the bottom rank at this point in time, for the red horse would still be delivering a check. So this would be a double checkmate. Now neither can the black king play k5 equals to 1, because if the black king moved to the 4th file, black would simply sacrifice the pawn with a p5 equals to 1 checkmate, forcing the black king to move back to the central file. He cannot advance because the cannon would now be delivering a check. Hence, after making this move, the pawn would have been moved out of the way, and red would simply deliver a double check again, leading to a checkmate. That is why k5 equals to 4 is not possible. Neither would h7 equals to h7 or retreating the horse to capture the pawn be feasible, because again red would deliver a checkmate with h7 minus 6. So in the main line, the black king would move to the 6th file. Now, how should red continue to attack? So the correct move would be to sacrifice the pawn again, as shown in a similar variation just now. So by sacrificing the pawn, the black king cannot advance because the cannon would be covering the throat rank. So again, the black king will be forced to move back, and black would seal the win with a discovered check. So this would be the first puzzle. So a short review: check, sacrifice check, and double check leading to a checkmate. So this would be the first board in the Dreams manual. Now this would be the position that is shown in the second puzzle. The title was 一步射速, and I've translated it as one does not shoot the resting bird. The Chinese title is believed to have been a passage that was lifted out from Confucius, or from the Analects of Confucius. Simply, in a nutshell, it would simply mean to have mercy and try not to kill a bird that's resting, and it would be a philosophical way of saying that there was a time for everything. Now, a short analysis: black would be prepared to deliver a checkmate with r9 equals to 7 to capture the red elephant. Now it will be a smothered check. It will be a smothered check leading to a checkmate. Black could also deliver a checkmate with r2 plus 5. So it will be red's turn to move. So how can red overturn the tables or turn the situation to his favor? Now, as can be seen on the board, the pawn was already at the elephant's eye in the black palace. So the red horse would be threatening with a elbow horse check, which could be a checkmate in this situation, but it was blocked by the red cannon. Now the chariot would seem to not be able to do much because the black cannon was blocking it from exercising any influence on the game. So how could red turn the tables? So the first move would be to traverse the cannon to the central file, sacrificing it. This will be a sacrificial play, sacrificing it while delivering a check. So this would be a discovered check again. Now the main idea behind this move would be to remove the piece that was blocking the red horse, so that red will now be prepared to deliver an elbow horse checkmate, which would be a smothered checkmate. Now that is why black cannot capture the elephant. Black can use the elephant to capture the red cannon, or it will be a checkmate in this manner. So the resting bird has flown away, and how could red how should red continue with this attack? He should go for the elbow horse as planned. Now the cannon would be protecting the throat rank, and this would be a check this would be a checkmate if the cannon were not present on the board, because the king cannot move. If it moved, it would be captured by the red pawn. So black must capture the red horse, and at this point in time red would simply checkmate with p6 equals to 5. This would be a checkmate because the cannon was delivering a check on the black king, and so was the red pawn. The black king cannot capture the red pawn or the black chariot, as it was protected by the red chariot. Hence this would be a checkmate, even though the elephant could capture the red cannon at this point in time. Now this type of checkmate, as I've mentioned sometime earlier in my basic kill videos, this is called a crowning checkmate. The Chinese name is Ping Ding Guan. So a short review: a discovered check with c2 equals to 5, forcing the black horse to move out. If not, it will be a smothered horse checkmate. And red will continue with h2 plus 3 for the elbow horse attack, forcing the cannon to capture the horse, whereby the crowning checkmate would materialize. So this would be a very short puzzle. It's not too difficult for experienced or intermediate players, but there are still many lessons that can be learned from this short puzzle by the beginner. The third puzzle in the book is called Chunmei Wu Lei. I've translated it as no worries when there's nothing left. So as can be seen, a simple analysis: black would be prepared to checkmate with r9 equals to 6, or advancing the chariot to the bottom rank to deliver a check. The red chariot was on black's bottom rank, but it was blocked by the red horse, and black was prepared to capture the red chariot with the cannon. So how should red move to turn the tables? So the correct move to start the game would be to sacrifice the red chariot with r6 minus 7 for discovered check. Again, this would be a discovered check. It would be a mistake to try to play h6 minus 5, because red would simply move his king to safety and black would not be able to continue attacking. Okay, so r6 equals retreating the horse for the discovered check would be the correct move to make. Now, as the black cannon must capture the red chariot, because it will be a checkmate if it were not able to do so. The red king cannot move to the centroid position because the red horse had the intersection covered. So c3 minus 8 must be played. Now it will be at this time whereby the red cannon will be able to exercise its influence with c9 plus 6, or advancing the cannon to the bottom rank for a check. Now again, the horse, when it is at this position, is called angler horse, and it would control the enemy's centroid position, thus disallowing the black king to advance forward. So the only way for black to retreat, to resolve this check, would be to advance the cannon so that no more cannon mount would be present. And once this is done, red will be able to deliver a horse cannon checkmate with h8 by advancing the horse on the 8th file, h8 plus 7 for the horse cannon checkmate. Again, black cannot resolve this checkmate because he cannot capture the red cannon, nor could he place any piece at this intersection or this intersection to resolve the check. So this would be a horse cannon checkmate, and it's one of the most basic kills in Xiangqi. So a short review: a discovered check, forcing the black cannon to capture, and this would be when the red cannon would jump into action and checkmate. One last final board. Okay, this would be board number 5. The title that I translated was "The Three Pillars and the Space in Between." Again, there was a Chinese saying which was from a passage, or was from a poem by Song Dynasty's Sima Guang. The relevant bits of the relevant poem, etc., has been collected in the book, and please refer to the book if you are interested in some Chinese history and culture. So in this last board of this video, board number 5, we can see that again black would seem to have the material superiority. Black would still have a chariot in place, the 2 pawns are menacing. The black cannon was protecting the throat rank and could attack if possible, if needed to assist in an attack. Red will only have 3 pieces left, no other advisors or elephants to protect the king. So, but black would not have an immediate kill. So how should red attack? One possible way for black to attack would be r3 equals to 5 to deliver a check and maneuver the pawn to prepare for checkmate, p2 plus 1, etc, etc, etc. So how should red attack? The correct move would be r4 plus 6. Now this would be the game winning move for red. Okay, so after making this move, red would be prepared to play h6 plus 5 for a check. The king cannot capture the red. Just to show you, for example, if black tried to deliver a checkmate with by advancing the pawn and then advancing the cannon, red will simply play h6 plus 5 for the check. The black king cannot capture the red horse, or the kings would be facing each other, so this will be a breach of the royal rule and it would not be permissible. The black king would be forced to advance to the cannon rank, and red will simply checkmate with p2 equals to 3. Now again, the black king cannot move to the central file, or the kings would be facing each other. So that is why after h4 plus 6 were played, black cannot try to attack. Neither can black play h3 equals to 5 for the check, because black could not only resolve the check with again h6 plus 5, he will be able to finish off the kill. So another, after h4 plus 6, r3 equals to 4 would not be possible either, because since the cannon was the key piece in the attack, black might think that maybe if I could capture the or chase the red cannon away, black will be able to save his king and turn the tables. However, if red played r3 equals to 4 to try to capture the red cannon, red would simply sacrifice the cannon and play p2 equals to 3 instead. Now at this point in time, the situation on the board is very interesting. Red will be prepared to checkmate with p3 equals to 4, because the king cannot move to the centroid, because the horse will be guarding the intersection and the kings will be facing each other. So the king cannot move to the cannon ring either. And one very interesting thing will be the black advisor cannot move either, because if it moved, the cannon will be delivering a check. So the only way would be for black to capture the cannon, whereby after sacrificing the red cannon, red would checkmate with p3 plus 1 or p3 equals to 4. So that is why in the main line, r3 plus 1 was given, and red would simply win in the same manner by playing p2 equals to 3, capturing the red cannon and delivering a checkmate. So these are the first 5 boards in the book, first 5 examples in the book. The position shown here, this will be last puzzle. I decided to add this puzzle to the board. Now this is puzzle number 8 in the book. It was called 肉冠成兵. 肉冠 would be a Chinese way to refer to a young child, or a man that had a teenager turning into an adult. 肉冠之年 would mean 20 years old in China, and this was the age that was supposed that a person had grown up, and there were many rituals to commemorate. Now 肉冠成兵 was a play on the words of the situation on the board. 肉冠 will refer, as mentioned earlier, will refer to a young person, and 成兵 would mean that it would be the key piece. The pawn would be the key piece for winning in this puzzle. So as can be seen, although black was under attack, it would not seem that there was much that red could do. So however, there was a very interesting way for red to win. So in this, please pause the video to try to see if you can come out with the answer. This is a slightly longer board, but nevertheless, it's not too difficult and should be very good material for the beginner. So assuming you've already paused the video, okay, the first move that red should make would be r2 equals to 5 to sacrifice the chariot in this manner. So at this point in time, red would now be threatening to checkmate with c1 plus 8 for the smart cannon checkmate. So this would force black must capture the red chariot the red's offer of the chariot and deliver a check in the process. So if the red king moved away, black would move his horse away and black would win for sure. But at this point in time, red could simply defend and resolve the check with c1 equals to 5. Now this would be in effect a very brilliant pin on the black pieces, because once this position was reached, the only movable piece that black had would be the black chariot, whereby it can only move to one of the intersections on the central file. If black were to capture the black cannon, okay, so once this position were moved, say black played r5 equals to 2, red will simply advance the pawn, and black cannot capture it, or it will be a check on the black king. The black chariot cannot also cannot capture the cannon, because once it did, it will be an immediate checkmate by stalemate in this situation, because the black horse cannot move, or it will be the kings will be facing each other. So this is why once this position were reached, the red cannon would have pinned all the black pieces to their positions, and only the black chariot will be left movable, but it would not be able to leave the central file either. And this was the key to the puzzle, because the young pawn would now be able to slowly march his way to the enemy palace for the kill. So once this position was reached, the red pawn would trudge to the elephant's eye in the enemy palace. So after moving the pawn here, the final stage for red to win will be now set up. So black can still only move his chariot about, and red will be prepared to sacrifice his cannon and move his king to this red file in the same red file as the red pawn. Again, the black chariot cannot leave the central file, and if it captured the red cannon, the pawn would now deliver a smothered pawn checkmate on the black king. Again, the black king cannot capture the red pawn, or the kings will be facing each other. So this will be a smothered checkmate for red. So this puzzle was also very befitting to the title, whereby the young pawn would grow up into an adult and change and save the day for red. So the ancient manuals are full of such very nice puzzles, although there are many mistakes in the games, but most of them are very brilliant, and there have been corrections over the years by modern day Xiangqi experts to improve the quality of the puzzles. And these puzzles, the puzzles as mentioned earlier in Dreams of Divine Positions, would serve as templates for other and be a source of inspiration for later endgame composition practitioners to create new puzzles, and using the themes shown in the book. So I hope you have enjoyed this short video. Ancient manuals are very essential and crucial to improve in Xiangqi, and although some of them are really very ancient, with the earliest known puzzle still extend to date back far back into the Song Dynasty. These puzzles still have their cultural and historical value, and I hope you have enjoyed today's short video presentation. And if you like my work, please subscribe, and if you would like to support the work that I've been doing for the past decade with my website and promoting Xiangqi in English, please consider buying my book, and to help and to learn more about the Chinese culture and the basics of Xiangqi. And I hope you have a nice day, and I thank you for your patience. Thank you.